everyone, welcome to oGT Matrix. So my name is Phyllis, I'm your facilitator of today. So today we're going to talk about matrix, but what are matrix? A lot of people may ask about it and because they may have different names. For example, you have KPIs, you have indicators. So actually they have all the same meaning for it. But if you look into definition, what exactly is matrix? It is a set of figures or statistics that measure your results. And what do we use them for, right? Why we need to have all these matrix. So there will be 5 major reasons for it. The first one is able to define your progress towards your goal achievement, which means I know how I'm going along the way to achieving my goal. Secondly, it will be about define the needed progress over the month or week. Because you're able to track your progress on your goal achievement and you will see whether you're achieving, for example, your monthly goal or weekly goal or not, then you'll be able to define what are the needed progress in the coming time. For example, if this month I'm not really achieving the monthly goal, which means if I want to achieve my goal by the end of the term, I need to intensify my operation in order to catch up with the progress and achieve the goals by the end of the term or of the peak. Okay, so the third one will be about measure the effectiveness of your strategy on your goal achievement, because all of our strategy is going to design to support our goals. So if you're able to identify, okay, this is the goal of my strategy. If I'm not achieving my goal, maybe the reason is because your strategy is not really effective and is not addressing what you need to have in order to achieve your goal. And the fourth one will be about measure the growth compared to your past performance, which means whether compared to the previous term or previous 2 terms, whether your performance is growing compared to before. So that's why you know that whether you are improving or not. And last but not least is during the monitoring system with matrix, you'll be able to identify the pain points of your operation and you'll be able to address it with strategy. So you can pick some of the matrix and you find that it's not really as expected or is lower. So then you will know that, okay, this is my problem and I need to define some strategy in order to improve it. So these are the major 5 reasons. And a lot of people may ask, what are the skills that I need to have in order to able to measure my matrix, right? Do I need to be a data expert for it? So no, like here we have listed 2 major skills that you have. First one is about ability to plan and look for the defined matrix of your function. After you plan, you have your MC planning, right? Then you need to think about, okay, in order to monitor the whole operation, what are the key metrics that I need to have in order to show me my progress, in order to show my strategy whether it's work or not. So the first one is about defining your matrix. Can you find out the right matrix for it? Secondly is about whether you know where to get those data. When you're able to find where are the data, then if you're not good at data management or visualization, then you actually can rely on people who are good at that and help you to present it in a consistent way. But then at the end of the day, you don't need to be a data specialist or being a pro for it, but just at the end of the day, you need to know your matrix and where to find those data for it. So in the coming next part, we're going to talk about what are things that as oGT you're going to track. So here will be the contents we're going to go through. So the first part will be about oGT matrix. We have 5 parts of it, including operation, marketing synergy, sustainability, network, and also operation excellence. And the second part that we're going into is about data, where to find those data, and how to build your tool. So here are the major matrix that you're going to track for oGT. The first one will be about operation. In operation, we have 5 major parts. The first one is function and process time. The second one will be about standard delivery. The third part will be about NPS. The fourth part will be about hierarchical distribution. And last but not least, it will be about goal versus actual GVA. So in the funnel itself, I'm sure you guys are quite familiar with from sign up to complete. There will be different status, so you'll be able to see here. And along the way, that you need to see what is the conversion between different status of the EP. And once you have the funnel and all the conversion, then you can look into the growth, both relative growth and absolute growth of your funnel, and whether it's achieving the goal that you are expecting as well. And also whether the conversion improving or not. The duration that you're going to measure, it can be by term, by peak, or a lot of people will be by month. Okay, so this is the first level of funnel monitoring. The second part, the level 2 funnel monitoring, is because GT is a bit special, as in we have more specific requirement for the EP, right? So that's why you can also look into the funnels KPI per field, per duration, or even JT and company. For example, if you're going to run IT field, okay, We can also have short-term, medium-term, and long-term opportunity. Whether you can able to measure that the whole funnel based on different duration with different field, and you have the cross matrix together, it is very important because you maybe have a lot of applicants that convert for short duration because of their profile and the competency, but it's not necessary with the current market that you are targeting in. They are competent enough to go for a long-term duration or with going with an MNC. Or like actually people are applying for wrong field or wrong JD for it. So the level 2 tracking will be about like how you're going to track your funnel based on these 4 things. And of course, you're going to look into growth, goal achievement by term, by peak, and by month as well. So when you look into it, there are a lot of KPIs there, but I will going to highlight some of the KPIs that you need to look into more specifically. So for the funnel and the process time, most probably for oGT, we're going to look deeper into like percentage of apply to accept, whether your lead are a good one that they are applying the right opportunity. Secondly, will be accept to approve, whether people after getting an offer, they want to pay and go on an exchange or not. So this will be the second one. And last but not least, when they're coming back, whether the exchange is up to standard one. So we're looking into finish to complete. And of course, most probably we'll look into the absolute number for realize and complete as well. So you can take into consideration that. And in terms of process time, most probably we're going to look into apply to accept and accept to approve. Because from apply to accept, that will be about your IR synergy, whether like you have a clear communication with your IR partner and the EP are applying for a right opportunity and being managed by the IGT side properly. Secondly, it will be about accept to approve, which means whether your members have right customer management in order to convert your customer from accept and they're going to pay and become approved. So you may be also tracking it per field, per duration, per JD, or per IR partner as well. Secondly, it will be about standard delivery. So you can also look into entity standard, which means for your own entity or your IR partner entity, whether they are delivered standard in a good way. And more specifically, you can look into the E2E standard, which means your entity and your IR partner, whether the standard code delivery is working well or not. The third part will be about NPS, and of course, the fourth will be about IR distribution. So if you have some LC to LC partnership as well, you'll be able to see, okay, what are the distribution that you have and which LC going to match with which one, and whether this partnership is going well in a local level or not. Secondly, will be also about key IR distribution, which means how much of your effort are distributing well according to your IR partner distribution. So if you have 3 IR partners and at the end of the day, all of the application is only going into one, then which means your IR distribution is not really distributing properly, and you need to think about how to going to improve it. Maybe by changing your sales direction, maybe changing your marketing direction, or maybe your SOP as well. So you can look into it. And last but not least, the whole goals versus actual, how's this going on. So secondly will be about marketing synergy. So in here, for the matrix, I put it into 2 parts. So the first one, it will be about basic share funnel, which means that is something as marketing and oGT, you have a share funnel and you will track together. And secondly, it will be about advanced marketing matrix, which means if you're also taking marketing as well as product marketing, so this is also some of the matrix you need to take into consideration. So with the level 1 marketing synergy matrix, the basic MOS will be about sign up, apply, and percentage of sign up to apply to see whether our customer is converting or not. But then if you want to look into deeper on like how does the whole attraction run and whether we are attracting the right people into the funnel, then you can measure the qualified leads by number of sign up per field and per duration, which means actually your persona, whether you are matching the right persona or not. Secondly will be about percentage of sign up to apply per field and per duration. So you'll be able to see whether your campaign message is really aligned, giving a right expectation to the customer. So that's why they will convert, because they really understand what are you trying to promote through your marketing campaign. And last but not least, it will be about your overall campaign efficiency. So when you're looking into it, you can also look into the percentage from sign up to approve. So it is the whole funnel itself until the customer pay for the product. So we have many different campaigns, but then actually how marketing is doing really will affect how the conversion later going on between oGT and IGT. Especially if the message is not aligned, then it will be even harder as well. So this will be also a good one for you to measure and understand whether your campaign is running effectively or not. So of course, you're going to measure growth and GVA as well. And the next one will be about marketing synergy level 2, which means that if you are oGT, that you're going to be responsible for marketing, here are some of the things you also need to track. So when we track about the marketing funnel, the solely part of marketing funnel, we're going to track about paid, owned, and earned. Okay. So for paid, we're going to track about the ad optimization, CPM, and CPC. So for owned, we were going to track about two things. So the first one is about social media minimum, which means how is the reach, the engagement, the share, and the link click look like on our post. Secondly, will be about our website. So maybe a lot of you guys also have landing page, the one that you have or the one that you're going to have with AI. So you can also look into what are the traffics that you drawing into your website or landing page, and how does the conversion from lead to sign up. Okay. So if you don't understand what are they, it's all right, because you can always contact me, the RM Marketing, to know more about it. Okay. So some of the extra resources that you can also take into consideration is about the marketing oGT synergy guide from AI. So then you're able to oversee how does the whole funnel look like. So to recap again, these are the matrix that we're going to track between marketing and oGT. And the third one, it will be about product sustainability. So for product sustainability, mostly you're looking into your financial goal achievement, from budget to achievement, whether you achieve your revenue goal and profit goal. And secondly, also looking into the level of product sustainability, whether you are running your product sustainably in terms of covering the direct and indirect costs. And also looking into the budget execution, because besides the revenue you're earning, you're going to plan the budget, how much you're going to spend, and whether you are really spending the money has been allocated. So you can see the execution part and also about the ROI. So how much you spend, whether it's worth based on the return of investment. So the fourth part, it will be about operation excellence. So very simple, there will only two things. The first one will be about strategy implementation. A lot of time when we think about our dashboard, all those stuff, we maybe not really think about like how does the strategy goes. So when you plan your strategy in the MC planning, you have planned a lot of milestones or deliverables, but how much you have implemented. That is also very important, that you need to have a place to able to record and see your progress on the strategy implementation. Because even your operation is growing, it may not really because of your strategy. And implementing your strategy is very important because it may help you to achieve your goal or even overachieve your goal. Secondly, it will be more about the basic of the tracking on the operation, will be about SOP implementation. So whether you're able to track on your LC or the whole commission, whether you are implementing the SOP in a proper way. So these are the major two things. And last but not least is about network performance. So what are the difference of it? Actually, there's no, like the things that you're going to measure with your MC, one that you're going to track with your LC on each LC as well. So that's why you not only have a general overview, but then you also have matrix to understand how each LC is going on and what is the progress and how you're going to facilitate them to improve better in the operation. And here's one of the example about network performance tracking. So this is from Nee. If you want to know more, you can ask her about it. So she will be able even to identify what are the target markets or what are the duration and field that she's working, and how much she's going to plan for her attraction goals from sign up to realization or even complete as well. So in looking into this is one of the way on how you can planning your LC timeline together. So now after we have talked about all of the matrix, the next part we're going to talk about is where to find the data. So to let you to have an overview, these are the 6 ways that you're going to find your data, and I'm going to go through it one by one. So the first one is about XPAR Analytics. So you can see from the video here, actually you can go to XPAR and then you can go to the analytics and performance. Then you're able to choose like by entity, by different period of time, and which period of time that you want to compare with. Then you so then you'll be able to find how's the performance are improving or or dropping compared to the same period of time that you want to measure. So you will be able to see here, yes, like you need to click for the products, the funnel, and then you'll be able to see the growth rate or the drop rate as well. So you can go to see more about it. Second one, you can also look into the funnel analysis. So you'll be able to see among the whole funnel, how does the conversion look like from different stages of it. Be aware on this about this funnel analysis. It's not the date range that you're going to choose. It's not about the whole this month, for example, how much complete you have, how much sign up you have, but then it's only about the sign up that I get, for example, in this month. Okay, how much of these people are converting along the way? So the realization and complete may not come in the same month, but then you'll be able to see based on each attraction campaign or based on each month you have different attraction activity, how does the conversion rate look like in the entity itself? Okay, so then like the next one you can also look into is entity to entity funnel itself, and also you can look into entity to entity standard delivery as well. So this will be help you to see how does your IR partner look like in terms of the whole funnel and also the standard delivery. So these are the few things you can look into. The second one will be about DEL file, okay, or data file. So what is DEL file, right? It means data analytics acceleration library. So these are all of the data that you can find on XPath in a specific range of time, and it will send to your MCP every month. So what you can do is you can find all those data there, and you can map out the data using pivot table that mostly we are using, and it will help you to dig deeper into the operation itself. So for you, these are the data files that you can consider about, and for partner, these are the data files that like you can consider about. So here are some of the examples you can look into. For example, like how many opens that each entity have for the company, and also secondly about like for EP, what usually their background having, where they are coming from, or in your entity, what are the EP background that you're having, what kind of opportunity background that they are applying for. So you can also consider about it. And you can also find here are some of the data training that we have on our YouTube channel. So go follow us and find all of our data processing video. And also you can look into for each entity, what are the focus fields that they are working on. And last but not least, if you also want to have some general data management training, you can go to here, the slides and the training video. This is a data management training from Srijita. She was the MCPP OGE 1920 of ISAC in India. So, and she's really good at that, so you can go and learn about it. So the third one will be about GFB dashboard. So in most of the time, we also need to look into sustainability because it gives us the overview on whether our product is running sustainably and also able to generate the profit that help us to sustain the whole asset operation. So in here, you can, from the video, you can see like the product sustainability from the GFB dashboard, and more accordingly is you can also find the profitability of the product itself on the dashboard as well. So go check about it. And the fourth one will be about GTA and GTE historical data. Some of you may see it before already. So in this tool, you will be able to find all the compiled GE and GT data. We have been reorganizing it on this platform to help you to see like how does the performance going on in the past term. So if you are not sure about how your entity is working in terms of different duration or different field, or where you realized it before, so you can look into this past data and able to help you to make your entity priority and focus. Yes, so here is the tool, and this is the how does the whole overview look like. So go and try to use with that. And the fifth one will be about S&D tool. So in here, you can see like these are all of the things that you can find on the S&D tool. And you can click onto the link here. So from here, you can see like in different region, how many entity are running which duration, which kind of JD in specifically. And if you want to look into specifically of each entity, what are the JD that they are running, then you can also go into and for the same with IGT, you can also able to see what are the opportunity that they are creating for different duration and different fields. So that's why you can improve along the way, okay? So last but not least is about the global SOTP dashboard. So in here, you can able to see these are the SOP implementation, and this will be updated in SOGA every quarter. So if you see the progress of right now of our SOP implementation is not very high, most probably is your predecessor didn't submit it. So make sure you, in the next quarter, when you submit your SOGA, do really update your whole SOP implementation here. So these are the main 6 source of data that you can find on different channels. So XPath, DEL, GFB, GTA, GTE, historical data, S&D tool, and also global SOP dashboard. Okay, so now the next part we were going to talk about build my tool. Okay, so how I can going to build my tool. Here is a very brief overview to let you to understand what is the difference between dashboard and scoreboard. For dashboard, it will be a real-time basis, so which means it's live. It will be able to help you to monitor the whole daily operation in a consistent way, and it able to reflect the exact performance in a real time. But then for scoreboard, it will be about your performance management, which means like, for example, your strategy implementation or your IR management. So it will be updated in a period of time, which means it will update daily, weekly, monthly, or quarterly. And it will more serving your long-term goal and measuring your strategy. So if you're looking into here, then maybe you can think about, like, for example, for funnel, that can be something that it go live, but then your IR partner, your data may not come in very fast way because GT processing time is a bit longer. So that's why you may consider with your IR partner, you can have a scoreboard, but with your funnel performance with the LC, then you can have a dashboard for it. So here are the major difference. And here are some of the examples. This one is the strategy implementation from AI. So they also have scoreboard to able to help them to update, like how does the whole strategy going on with different milestones. And if this one is too advanced for you, you can also consider about this. So this is how APR strategy and its milestone and implementation. You'll be able to see us planning milestone on a monthly basis. And then you will also see us like putting out network services, for example, O2O, commission call, or any other extra material. We'll also put onto the same page as well and help us to track it in a more simple way. And this is also aligned with how does our PA system look like. So if you want to know more about different dashboard, you can go to this link here to check about different region. What is the dashboard look like? And for scoreboard for S&D, which is not live, you can also take into consideration the S&D scoreboard from Europe, okay? And here's also some of dashboard example from MOC. So they even live the data from the system to their own dashboard to track how does the LC performance. So if you want to know more, then you go to Ask MOC. And this is the example from Germany. They also have a scoreboard to help them to update the data in a daily or weekly basis and track all the performance. How does it look like? So if you want to know more, then you can go ask this entity for it. To build our tool, it's not means that, okay, I need to be very advanced because I see people are very advanced, but then no, like the most important thing is you able to identify what are things you're going to track. And for big entity, maybe the dashboard is more complicated, but for smaller entity, maybe you don't really need that much advanced, and actually a simple tools can able to serve your purpose as well. So here are some of the steps to build your tool. So the first one is you need to understand what are the things you want to track, what are the insights that you want to know, and trying to categorize it, because you may have a lot of KPI, a lot of MOS that you want to track about it. But then if you're not going to organize it, it's like a puzzle and you will get lost in that. Secondly, it will be about check the data source, where you can find those data and how you can bring up to your platform. Is it on XPath? Is it on spreadsheet? So you can think about it and then define your routine to update about if this data can going to be live on your dashboard or you need to implement it in a manual way. So you can also think about it as well. And last but not least, research about template and platform. So a lot of time when we're building the tools, actually it's easier for us to refer to, for example, your predecessor, what are the visualization they look like, or different entity, what are the visualization look like to present the data, or maybe you can learn from some other platform, for example, Salesforce, etc., on how they present the data as well. But at the end of the day, it's not about how complex you're building your tool, but it's about whether your tool can able to serve the purpose of your monitoring and tracking on your own commission, okay? So in here, to building your tool, some of the expectation setting with you guys. So the first one will be about start slow and build the momentum. So a lot of time we want to, okay, I'm going to build a tool like 1 month to build it and I'm going to use it for the whole term. No, like when you're building a tool, it's very important to understand what are the things that you're going to track in this month or in the coming month and how you're going to do it. And actually for the tools from my personal experience, I update it every 1 or 2 months, different new feature according to what I need in terms of that specific period. So actually you don't need to be rushing, like build everything in one shot, but then you can gradually look into what are things you need to look into and you can improve the feature of your dashboard or scoreboard accordingly. It may take you several months to do it. So the second one would be about don't trying to exclude some of the information because you think that is not important. Actually, all the information is critical in the process. So when you think about it, right, trying to understand all of the information, with all this information, which are the important ones that can present in your monitoring system. a lot of time when you were LC, you may be not able to see, okay, why my MC want this data. Like for you, maybe very easy to have it, but then maybe in an MC perspective, in order to know it, actually is a bit hard. It's very important for your LC to update and reporting to you. And sometimes it may also take some time for you to do a behavioral change with your LC and communicate them properly. So the last one will be about evaluating and have research on different templates and platforms before you go start tracking it. So these are the few tips for you guys. So now I want you guys to have some reflection time about what are the key metrics that I should have to evaluate for oGT, where you can get those data, what are the different KPI or scoreboard or dashboard that you need, and at the end of the day, what are the steps to build my performance tracking system. So I really hope you guys will take some time after this video to think about it. And last but not least, here is the overview of all of the metrics that we have in terms of operation, marketing synergy, sustainability, operations excellence, and network, and where to find those data. So actually you can find on these different sources like XBAR, Dell, GFB dashboard for finance data, GTE, GTA, historical data dashboard, and also S&D, and also global S&D dashboard as well. So last but not least, here's the call to action for you guys. First of all, I really hope you guys after this video can start drafting what are the metrics that you need for your performance tracking system and how you're going to plan building for it. Secondly, it will be about designing the tool. And last but not least, if you want to like share with Aro, then you can share with us and asking for feedback as well. Because for regional office, we have been working on dashboard and performance management for some period of time already. So maybe we can able to give you some more insight on like how to build your dashboard as well. Okay. So thank you so much for today. Let's build a stronger, united, and collaborative GT together. So if you have any questions, feel free to approach me. I really love data a lot, so you can feel free to ask me if you have any concern. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a nice day. See you. Bye.